Hello everyone, today's video is going to be a makeup inventory for January of 2025. I personally do these on a semi-annual basis, and I will put my collections and inventories playlist linked down below so you can see my other inventories but also see a little sneak peek in some collections. If you are enjoying today's makeup look, I did do an IG inspiration video right before this, which will be posted after this. So make sure you subscribe to see who I recreated and how I got this look and what palette I used. This inventory is by no means trying to brag about my makeup collection. For some reason, I've seen some people do that disclaimer and I feel like that's unnecessary. The reason for a makeup inventory is to take yourself accountable for the amount of makeup that you own. Some of us who have, semi-larger collections on a more unmanageable level, like for me, I'm not gonna finish all the blushes in my collection. I am a project planner. I like to use up my makeup and I want to keep myself accountable for the makeup I do own, so I know what I should and should not be buying in the future. Every collection is different. On YouTube here, people have larger collections than me, people have smaller collections than me. We shall get into the first category, which is primers, and I tend to do these kind of in order of my face. It is snowing outside, so that's why it looks white out there, but I have moved you so you can see my photos. I really like to see people's actual collections. I'm also very nosy. Anyway, primers. The 2024 numbers that you are seeing are from January of 2024. So I am comparing myself from a year ago. I have 3 primers. I used to have 5. I think that's a good manageable number. I would only have 2 if Ulta didn't mess up my order. I really like the Essence Good Stuff, so I'm not complaining about it. The Wet n Wild primer, I can take or leave it. Concealer, I personally do concealer before my foundation, so that is what is next. I currently have 3. I used to have 3, and as I am filming this, today was my last use for that in real life filter finish, so that's empty. So currently, right now, I have 2, but when I took these photos, I had 3. Anyway, a good manageable number. I really am not mad about having 3 concealers. I like the concealers that I own, and I have no problems with the concealers that I own. Foundation. I am counting my white mixing product as a foundation. I mix it with my foundations. That's how I would use it for my e.l.f. Halo Glow. I use it by itself. I also use it as a mixer. I still count it in my foundations. If I look at it, it's like I have 2 mixers and 3 real foundations. So in total, I have 5. I used to have 6. All those like actual foundations are like new. I am not worried about this category like whatsoever. I use all of them. I like all of them. Powder, I have 2. I used to have 5, and it's crazy. I used up 3 powders last year. I really like my Essence powder foundation. I use that daily, but I have 1 pressed and 1 loose. I could take or leave on the loose one, but I will use it. For setting sprays, I used to have 2. I now have 2. Again, I would only have 1 if Ulta didn't mess up my order, but again, not mad about it. I like having setting spray. It's a category that I use very consistently, and I will definitely finish these 2 up plus more. If you've seen my empties video, I'll leave that link down below. It's crazy the amount of setting sprays I used up last year. If you hear noises, like I said, it's snowing. Plows are going to go through my road. It's however it has to be. So please disregard any noise you may or may not hear. We're going to get into the categories that I am a little disappointed in myself in. First things first, bronzer. I used to have 5, now I have 6, and I don't need to buy any more bronzers. I'm going to try and use up that Lumi Bronze It. I would like to get substantial use on those cream blushes. Those are both for Sydney Grace. I really like the Buxom, I really like the NYX, the Hoola I can take or leave. My goal is to use at least one of these up and to get some progress on another, but we shall see where I'm at. Next is highlighter. This actually is a good number. This is a good number. I used to have 10, but since I used up 2 last year and have not purchased a single one, I'm so proud. I am now at 8, and I'm currently using up that Lorac highlighter. It has a nice pan in it. I would like to, you know, get some good use on some of the other ones. The other ones, unfortunately, don't have any major dips. They're not close to pans, so I don't know what it's going to look like in terms of panning a highlight next year. 2 creams from Sydney Grace, but I'm gonna try and get this down to 7 and get rid of that Lorac highlighter. Blush. I am so disappointed. This is why I do inventories, because I look at my blush collection, I'm like, oh, like it hasn't really grown that much. No, it has, because 2024 I had 16. Now I have 21. How on earth I've done that, I have no idea. I am currently gonna try and finish my one Tarte blush, and I'm in the process of trying to finish my Fenty cream blush. I feel like that Nude Sticks blush, like right above the numbers, will be a relatively easy finish. Just because it's a cream product, it's in a stick. I feel like there's not a whole lot of product in it. A good chunk of these are cream blushes. We have those Cosmic Beauty ones that I just got. That Tarte blush is a cream. Of course, my Fenty cream, my 2 Sydney Graces, that Nude Sticks one, the e.l.f. Putty blush, the ColourPop Super Shock, I count it kind of like a cream. Then I have my 2 liquids. Oh, and I have my Melt. I have so many cream blushes. I don't need that many cream blushes. So hopefully, I can naturally use up 3 of those. So we'll see. We'll see what the year brings. I'm really trying. I have a nice healthy pan on that cream blush. It's what I'm wearing on my cheeks today, but I have a nice healthy pan in here. I really hope I can finish some of these, because this blush collection is a little ridiculous, especially since these are just my single cheek products. I count anything a duo or larger as a face palette. So at least this went down a little bit. It used to be at 16, now it is at 15. And I really should declutter that Cover FX palette. I tried to pan that last year, and I did really good on it for about half the year, and then I gave up on it. Like, I didn't have it in any sort of project, I was just doing it on my own. And I know this may be controversial about my singles, but this photo here is showing the highlights in the blushes that I have in those Sydney Grace. These are my Sydney Grace, like, single blushes in a pan. Since they're in a palette, I count it as a face palette. I don't plan on getting the Sydney Grace mystery boxes this year. I'm gonna really try and be good and not buy stuff. But this may be controversial, but I keep these in my face palettes. I don't see myself using them up. So, and then also like those Melt powders, technically they come apart. You know what I mean? Anyway, at least I went down in 1. I do have a couple new ones. I do have a couple cream palettes in here, and I either need to declutter or use up some of these. Now on to some eye products. For my eye bases, I only have 2. I used to have 2. It's the same 2. I hope I can finish that Angel Eyes primer here this year. The tacky base, once it's done, I'm going to repurchase it anyway, so it doesn't matter if it gets used up or not. I use these both on a daily basis, and I'm not worried about this. Mascara, I had 5 a year ago. I have 5 today. I have 2 opened and 3 unopened. I only like to keep 1 or 2 open at a time. So my currently open is my Tower 28, which I use on my top lashes, and then my e.l.f. Lash and Roll I use on my bottom lashes, and I'm not worried about the mascara category whatsoever. Brow products, I used to have 2, now I have 3, and the only reason why I have 3 is because I have 2 clear brow gels. I'm going to use these up throughout the year. I'm not too worried about the brow gel, especially both of them are both new. My entire brow collection has really changed over the years. Since incorporating brow pomades, they last forever. Pomades take forever to go through, so I really only need a brow gel that I'm going to repurchase, because I think that ABH brow pomade will last me another 2 years. I'm not worried about this number. It did go up by 1, but I'm not worried about it. Eyeliners, again, went a little above. I used to have 11, now I have 15. I count the one water activated palette as its own singular product. I do have one like cream gel liner that's from Mel. The bottom has all of my liquid liners, and then on the left side I have all of my pencils. So most of them are colored, and then I have a black and a brown. I'm not worried about eyeliners all that much. This one went up quite a bit, and I need to use these ones more. So my single eyeshadows, I used to have 12 and now I have 17. 4 of those are those Sydney Grace singles, and then another 4 of them is those like jumbo single eyeshadows from Sydney Grace. I have 2 ColourPop Super Shocks. The Danessa Myricks thing, I feel like is gonna get decluttered sometime this year, not because I don't like it, but because it'll dry out. I have a Maybelline like Tattoo Studio. I have a e.l.f. cream eyeshadow. Those 2 I would use as a base. So once my Angel Eyes is finished, then I'll use those as a base. But they're currently sitting in my single eyeshadows. I want to use up a couple of these, but single eyeshadows take forever to use up. We will do my eyeshadow palettes last, let me promise you. Lip products. This one used to be my liquid lipsticks, which I only had the one. I have incorporated lip stains into this as well, only because I felt like that made the most sense. Now this category kind of gained by 3 for a total of 4. So I have 2 e.l.f. lip stains. I still have the same like liquid matte lipstick from Odin's Eye. And then I have a ColourPop Luxe Velvet, which is very similar to the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams. Like, it's not a gloss and it's not a lipstick. So this is kind of the catch-all lip category. It makes the most sense to put it here. That's where I'm putting it. So this has gained by 3, but not really, kind of. You know what I mean? Lipsticks. A lipstick to me is anything in a stick format that goes on my lips. Oh, hi, kitty. Do you want to say hi? He's mad because I'm in his chair. He doesn't like being picked up, but here he is. Do you want to say hi? He's not happy. You want to lay in my lap? He doesn't have a tail, so you can't see his, there's no tail to see. He's just sitting in my lap. Anyway, lipsticks. I am very sad. For someone who said they were gonna go on a lip product no-buy, this has failed, very much so. The reason why this has failed is because I had a Sydney Grace mystery bags, I had Fantasy Cosmetica mystery box, I had a ColourPop mystery box that I got some for Christmas. It's a whole big shadoo. I used to have 8 and now I have 15, and I am hoping the MAC lipstick will be finished. I'm hoping my e.l.f. Happy lipstick gets finished. I would like some of these other ones to get finished. That Thrive one came in a FabFitFun. Like, those Fantasy Cosmeticas came in a box. The Cosmic Brushes ones came in a box. Those 2 ColourPop ones came in a box. So I know where they came from. I didn't necessarily go out of my way to purchase a lip product. They just came into my life through boxes I purchased. Very disappointed in myself with this category. Lip gloss. Again, very disappointed in myself. I think last year I did very good, or 2023 to 2024. I did really good at decreasing my lip gloss collection. And my goal this year is to use up a lot of lip products. I used to have 14, now I have 18. The Lawless one is almost done, that NYX Fat Oil is almost done. I would like to use up a lot of lip products this year, get this number decreased substantially, and my goal this year is to not really purchase any mystery boxes. I don't need them. Eyeshadow palette collection. this photo is all of like my little palettes. These still count as a palette. Anything a duo or larger counts as a palette. So that Fenty, like, it technically is a highlighter. I count it as an eyeshadow palette because I can't use them as a highlight. I use them as eyeshadows. And then the Kaja trio, the Natasha Denona trio, I count them all as an eyeshadow palette. And then next here is I did not want to put these all on the floor. I was being lazy. So this here is my bookshelf with all of my eyeshadow palettes. If I counted correctly, I have 72. My Melt Gemini 2 palette, I showed you guys in a recent video that it is in single format in a Sydney Gray singles. And part of me wants to remove the Melt Gemini as a palette because I don't own the entire palette anymore and I only have them listed in my singles. So this very well could go down to 71 if I count my Melt as part of my singles. I don't count my singles separately, and he's rubbing his face on my tripod. I count it all as a palette. That's how I keep track of them. So that was my entire makeup collection in my inventory. And I hope you could see him. There's his little nub. There's his little nub. That was my makeup inventory, and he's not loving life. He's like, Mom, let me down. That was my entire inventory. If you enjoy these types of videos, please go down into the playlist below and to see more like it. Here, let me see. There you go. Hi, kitty. Say hi. He's not happy with me, but I love and appreciate all of you guys, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and I shall see you guys next time. Jasper will see you next time too.